Hi, it's Jordan Teen 1, and today I'll be showing you how to make this new bracelet that I'm calling the Accordion Bracelet. So I think it has a really unique look to it. You can see that it makes these diamond-shaped patterns. This is a hook-only design, and today I'll be making a black and white one. So I will be using approximately 56 black bands and 56 white bands. But it really depends on the size of your wrist exactly how many bands you're going to need. So we're going to start by making each of these little side sections here, and for each one of those you're going to need 3 rubber bands. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take 2 black bands and I want to double them on my hook. So I'll start with the first one here. Just placing it on, twisting, and putting it back on. So you'll have the 2 loops on there. Just going to slide this down to the base, and then I'm going to take another black and do the same thing. I'm just twisting and putting it back on. So I have my 2 on the hook here. And then I'm going to take a white. These are going to be the little pointy end parts. And I'm going to just place this on my hook. And I'm going to just slide the very first black on. Make sure both loops go through. Put the white back on, and then I'm going to pull down on the black loops here, and one slides through the other to make a slip knot. Then what I need to do is take this off and flip it over. So that's important. Don't forget to flip it over. And now I'm going to slide the other 2 black loops here, get them on, and then I'm going to get this other black circle back on my hook, pull down on this other loop, and I'm going to slide through all the way. So you can see it's going to link the 2 together. So you'll have your 2 black circles or whatever color you're working with, and then the white that's connecting them in the center. So it is a little bit tricky. You do want to try and make sure that these are about the same length here, the circle's about the same size. So let me just show that a couple more times, and then I will pause and let you finish making them. So first you're taking a black, doubling it, getting it back on your hook, taking a second black and repeating. That part's easy. And then you want to take your color that's going to be the tip of the sides. So I'm putting on the white, I'm sliding the first black band, getting these 2 loops to go on the white, and then putting the other end back on my hook, and I'm going to pull down on the black, slide the end through the other. That makes the 1 slip knot, and then I'm taking it off and flipping it over and grabbing it again. And now this other black is going to slide on. Make sure they both get on there. And then the loop that's in my fingers is going back on. Grabbing the 2 black and pulling down. And then this is sliding through. And you want to pull that. So essentially it's making a slip knot on each side of the loop. So you're going to do this approximately 28 times. Let me just show you it one more time. So you're doubling a black, and then a second one. I'm taking the white, I'm sliding this first one. I only want the first one to go on, and then getting it back on my hook and making that first slip knot. Now I'm taking it off and flipping it over, getting it right back on there. Now the other black will slide on, and then I want this other black loop. I'm pulling down. That just helps put the tension on your band so you can work with it here. Pull it through all the way to form those 2 slip knots. And again, you might have to take an extra second or 2 to just try and make sure your loops are about the same size. So I've completed 3 and I'm going to do this 25 more times, but you may have to make a few more or less depending on the size of your wrist. So I'm just going to fast forward so you can pause your video here and continue making the rest of your little sections. I've now finished with all of my little side sections and I'm ready to start making the bracelet. And let me just show you, with each of these little sections, I'm going to be calling this part the top, where you can see the slip knot here, the 2 vertical bands in the center, and I'm going to be calling this part the bottom. And with my bracelet, I want this part, the top, to always be showing on the outside when it's finished. But sometimes when you place it on, you actually have to place it on this way, and then it actually slides up and the right side will be showing out. And I'm also going to be using a C-clip to help hold one side of the loop so it doesn't come apart. If you're an advanced loomer, you might not need to use this C-clip, but I've decided to show it this way just because it can be a little bit tough with using just your hook. So let me get started here. I'm going to take one of my first sections and I want what I would consider the bottom to actually be facing towards the right to start with. And then I'm going to take another one and I want what would be the top here to also go in towards the inside, so the 2 tops would be facing one another. Then I'm going to take a white band and I'm going to pull it through all 4 of the bands on my hook and then get it back on. And so now I'm going to do 2 more of my center bands, one at a time here. So I'm just going to grab it and pull it through the 2 on my hook. And then I want to get a second one. So I'm just grabbing it, pulling it through, and getting it right back on. Now here's where I'm going to put the C-clip on first. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side here. And what I need to do is I need these bottom ones to move up and get attached on this top white band. So I am going to pinch this in my fingers and slide my hook out. And then on the right side here, I'm just going to go through these 2 black loops and then also through the white band on the right, pull that through. And now I need to do the same thing on the left here. I need this bottom black loop to come up, and I need this band that has the C-clip on it to go through. So what I'm going to do is just take the C-clip and push it through the loop. I think it's just the easiest way to do it. And so now you see that we have our first diamond shape here. And we need to get the next set of black to go through this same band. So I'm going to leave this C-clip on here, and let me just put this back on my hook for now, just so I can now grab my next set here, and I'm going to again pinch this. I'm going to slide my hook out, just make sure you don't let these bands go here, and again I want this bottom side to be facing towards the right, and I'm going to put my hook through one set of the black loops, and then grab the right here again and slide this on. And again on the left here with the C-clip, I'm just going to hold that. And again, I'm going to have the bottom facing towards the left or towards the outside. Slide this on. And then I want the white band that the C-clip is on to get back on my hook. And so now you can see we have these hanging here, and they're going to be our next diamond, but we need to do 2 more center bands first. So I'm just going to leave the C-clip on for now. So I'm grabbing this white band and I'm just going to slide it through and put it back on my hook, and then I'll do that a second time. And now I'm going to remove the C-clip from this bottom band, and I'm going to attach it up on the left hand side on the one on the top that's on my hook. And now I'm just going to repeat the same thing I did at the bottom. I'm going to pinch this in my fingers and slide my hook out. On the right here, I'm going to go through the 2 black loops, grab the right band and pull it through. And then on the left side here, I'm going to use my Cclip, go through the 2 loops, put it back on my hook. So you can see now we have our second diamond. And now in this same band, I still need to add my next diamond. So again, I'm going to pinch this and take it off. Going to grab this with the bottom facing out, attach it on the right, and then let go here, still pinching it in my fingers. And again, with the bottom facing out, I'm going to slide it through the Cclip and get that band back on my hook. So you can see we've reset the next diamond. So it's going to be 2 more of your center color. So that's 1. And there's the second. And now we have to get these 2 attached up above here. So I'm pinching, sliding out my hook, and it looks like my loops have separated. You always want to make sure you're going through both loops here. Go through the right, get it on, and then on the left side here, I forgot to move up my Cclip, so let me just put this back on the hook. And let me do that quickly. Sorry about that. And now I can release this and get the Cclip to go through the loops. And then back on. So I'm just going to fast forward here, repeating the same pattern until I have the bracelet to the length that I'd like. I've now completed my bracelet, and the only thing I have left is to attach a clip on the end here. So I have my Cclip, and I'm just going to get these 2 ends, 2 bands to go through. And then you would just go to the other side here and attach it on the bands on the end here, and your bracelet is complete. I hope that everyone loves their new accordion bracelets. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!